Welcome back, folks. David from Sign and Slabbed. So today I'm going to share some items that I have been picking up over the last, I'd say, make it back 18 months when the first time I bought one, and have actually seen some auction results recently that are making these a bigger deal. Become People in the hobby becoming a little bit more aware of them, a little bit more educated, and that's Type 1 photos. So the one I have really been pretty narrowly focused on the Type 1 photos that I've collected. Part of it's just a price point type issue for me, but I do think that these, when these are they're really unique items. So one of the cool things about them, I think, is each one of these Type 1 photos, in many ways, is kind of a one of one. And if you go to PSA card.com and research there, and then there's some other websites online of people who collect this stuff, I think you could get a pretty good education on what Type 1 photo means. My under Briefly, the highlights of what I think it means is that it is a photo that was produced from the original negative at the time, or in the era of when that photo was taken. And so a lot of these were really done obviously by people in the press, so folks with media access at the games, professional photographers. And so anyway, wanted to walk through, show you some of the ones that I've got, talk a little bit about why I bought each one. And certainly I know you basketball nerds will enjoy, because these are all going to be of Michael Jordan. So I'm going to take these in order of how I've sort of acquired them over time. So first up, here we have Jordan. I think that this was in Madison Square Garden, which is obviously one of his favorite places to play. But shooting a jumper, you over John Starks here. The picture, when they can ascribe it to people, they do. So this is a picture taken by Bob Olin of the New York Post. And on this particular picture, you can see on the back it's got stamping. So it's stamped May 25th, 1993. You've got Bob Olin, New York Post, staff photo. So anyway, I thought that this was just a cool image, and certainly a rivalry type of pose. And it's like the size of an 8x10. But anyway, so this is the first one that I've got. Thought that was pretty cool. Next up, we've got a picture. So this one also from 1993. It's Jordan with Reggie Lewis. And I really liked this picture because I remember what a big deal Reggie Lewis was. And, really passed away tragically way too early. And so when I saw this, that was one of the things that I really liked about it, because Reggie Lewis was a fantastic player in that time. But I also like this because Jordan's driving. He's got the iconic tongue out, ready to go. He looks like he's about to kind of take another step, jump up and dunk all over people. And so this picture, I'm pretty sure, was taken in the Boston Garden. And on the back, Matt Stone, I guess, was the photographer for this. And then it's got up here at the top, Chicago Bulls, Boston Celtics, Michael Jordan with Reggie Lewis, 4/4/93. So this one's a little bit smaller. It says 7 1/4 by 8. Came also with so this one's not slabbed, but it comes with the PSA letter of authenticity. You can send these in and get them slabbed up too. So obviously the first one I had, it was in the case. This one's just the picture with the COA. All right, next up, we've got another one from the Garden. Jordan coming underneath with the left hand, about to drop it in. You got Horace Grant there. You got Charles Oakley here. This one's from 1991. Same photographer as the first, Bob Olin, staff guy for the New York Post. I really liked this picture just because I felt like it was super unique. Obviously, Jordan dunking poses and things like that are going to be highly sought after, but this was a really unique image, I thought. And the other thing I liked about it is a little bit larger image. So it's bigger than an 8 by 10. It's not obviously not quite an 11 by 14, but I just think when you consider and learn more about some of these things, um, a lot of the most of the photos you'll see are going to be 8 by 10 size or smaller, because a lot of times they're using those to actually put into the sports section of the newspapers at the time. So I like the idea of trying to run down some of these that are maybe a little bit bigger, oversized, because it just kind of adds a little more uniqueness to the photo itself. But anyway, really like this photo. Thought it was cool. All right, and then it had the PSA. All of these are going to have PSA certificates with them, authenticating them as Type 1 photos, and it'll you've got all your specs and things that they'll know of it kind of up here. All right, next up, this one is from sometime in the 90s. I don't remember if it. Well, we'll get it out. So this one was taken, I guess, by Jonathan Kern in 1993. You've got Jordan against the Utah Jazz. So, another cool image, driving to the hole, about to lay it up. I kind of like too that it had John Stockton in it as well. So, a photo with a couple Hall of Famers on it, a couple Dream Team guys. And anyway, thought it was, again, neat photo. He's laying it up. Thought that was pretty cool. Similar to this one. So this one's a little bit older. So here we've got Jordan, and this one is another Jonathan Kern photo. I don't really know who that is necessarily, but this one's from '89. Part of the Sporting News collection. So maybe Kern could have been a photographer that sold photos to the Sporting News at the time. Not sure, but anyway, I like this one again. Jordan's got his tongue out, making a move. These are actually some of my favorite Jordan shoes, if that matters. I haven't talked about that on the other ones, but I know a lot of people like, getting Jordan fully in the frame with the shoes and everything, kind of a big deal. Bill Cartwright as well. So you got Kevin McHale here. So again, another sort of dual Hall of Famer going on in the picture. But just anyway, thought it was a cool image, the right price, so decided I would add it. Like this one a lot. So here is Jordan. This is also from around 91. And that's Alvin Robertson next to him. Robertson played at the University of Arkansas and then with the Milwaukee Bucks. Um, or I'm sorry, Alvin Robertson played on the Olympic team in '84, I think, with Jordan, if I have that right. Anyway, I just thought it was a cool image of him. They're looks to me like they're both giving the ref the business, which to me is kind of funny. But it's just, again, a good full frame picture of Jordan. I just think it's tough to go wrong with stuff like this unless you just really end up overpaying. But it's got the PSA LOA to go with it as well. So next up, we have here is Jordan versus the Detroit Pistons. And it's funny because they wrote it on the back, but then scratched it out. This is Vinny Microwave Johnson. And so it's funny, on the back, they've written up here Chicago number 23, Detroit number 13, or number 15, sorry. And then they noted Michael Jordan, and they have V. Johnson, but they've scratched it out. But that's definitely Vinny Johnson. the microwave played at Baylor, which is where I went to school, went to college, and so saw this and was like, this just kind of captures, you know, that 80s and 90s era of basketball for me. And so again, I thought it was a cool. I had a unique tie to it because of the microwave. And but again, Jordan's got his tongue out wagging, so just thought, that's a fun picture that I'd like to have a little bit more meaningful to me because of the history with Johnson being in there too. And just the idea too that this does, it sort of captures that era of Jordan needing to get by the Pistons to then start winning championships. Again, also comes with your PSA LOA. This was part of the Sporting News collection, I guess. Too. I don't see. Well, it says Betsy Peabody Rowe on the back. So again, probably another professional photographer at the time. All right, last but not least, here we've got Jordan. This is another one from the 90s. Not sure. There's not enough here to be 100% sure where this was. Let's get it out and see if there's actually anything on the photo that might give this a clue. I'm sorry, it's just stuck on there a little bit. Sometimes that happens. There's like stuff on the back of these. This is another one, Sporting News collection. Jeff Carlick from Fullerton, California. So I was looking down here. I was thinking, are these possibly Laker girls? It's noted as being from 1990 on the back, and the COA says 90s too. I suspect this is probably a game in LA. With all the other information we have that you can see here, probably lines up. You can't necessarily tell. There's no particular marks on the court or whatever. But this is one I don't as much love the image because he's passing the ball forward. Although he does have his tongue out again. But I just, when I see these things in auctions and start bidding, and particularly if I start winning, if I feel like I've built up a little equity in the things that I've already won, a lot of times I'll try to win another item, and this is one that I'm sure was part of that, where it was I was getting this at a price that was enough less than a couple of the others that I bought that it just started to kind of make sense from a value perspective to go ahead and have it. And again, as y'all all know, I collect everything. I over collect everything a lot of times. And so, anyway, sure, that's how I ended up with this. But, look, nice little collection of Jordan type ones. If you're interested in this stuff, I'd say just do your research, go out and look. I think you can find, sometimes good deals. These are starting to get a little bit more expensive, so I'd say, just make sure that you kind of try to set a budget and stay within it until you're really introduced to it. But certainly particularly early 84, 85, 86 type photos of Jordan have become very, very expensive. And so I think as those kind of catch hold and have a collectability, I think this other stuff can too. And then, again, if you just wanted something unique to like go with a cut autograph or something like that, I think these type one photos could be a fun way to have sort of a dual collectible in a single piece. So anyway, hope you like this. If you did, please, hit subscribe, hit like, share with your friends, and I will see you again very soon. Thanks for watching.